What is going on, football fans? Back at it with the third week of the picks against the spread. Glad to have Kidblue back on. We've been doing, for lack of a better word, horrible. If you're a gambler out there that watch our podcast, pick against us. Now, the locks I've done pretty good. You're about to see our standings. Kidblue's just bad all around. We've both done bad in the overall record. Have you studied a little bit? Are we going to do a little better this week?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm actually more confident than I was last week. I think I said in the beginning of the video last week, I was like, I'm not very confident. This week, I'm pretty sure I'm confident. If I still suck, then all hope is lost. But
well, we said it when we first started this thing that it is hard in the beginning of the year because you're still feeling out the teams. Yeah. There's been a lot of injuries to quarterbacks that have affected some of the lines in games. So hopefully we do a lot better this week. But let's pull up the standings real quick. Kidblue on the year is 13, 18, and 1. Last week we both went 6 and 10. His locks, and these are the games we're supposed to know we win. Woo! His locks, he has 1 win, 4 losses, and 1 tie.
To be fair, I went a little risky last week, but I'm gonna keep it safe as much as I can.
All right, he's keeping it safe this week. I am 1 game worse in the overall standings. I am 12, 19, and 1. I went 6 and 10 last week as well. But my locks, to my credit, is 4 and 2. So those are the games I'm recommended you should bet on. So at least I'm doing good there. Everywhere else I suck. But yeah, so there you have it, guys. Those are our standings. Do you think we can do better? We can't do worse.
We can't do worse. We can't. Chris, we can't.
We can't do worse. We can't do worse. All right, we're going to start with the Thursday night matchup, and this should be a snooze fest. I'm going to be streaming this game, so I'm going to have like 5 cups of coffee to try to get through this. We've got a divisional matchup. Titans going to Jacksonville. Titans favored by 1.5. Tell me your thoughts on this one, Kidblue.
I'll tell you what, at the beginning of the year, I would have been extremely hyper for this game. You know, with Nick Foles back there and Jalen Ramsey not wanting to trade, Jacksonville should be in a good spot, and Tennessee coming to town, good division matchup, and I thought Tennessee was going to be a lot better. They really, really made me drink the Kool-Aid week 1, man, because they stunk it up.
We both had them as a lock. That was the lock I missed on.
Exactly, and they stunk it up. You know, they were leading towards the end of the game, and I'm like, okay, no, I think they were down but by just a little bit. I'm like, okay, they got this. They wound up losing the game. I see that pop up. I'm like, are you kidding me? You lost this? And without Andrew Luck, the Tennessee Titans are usually pretty successful. But as far as this game goes, it's going to be very low scoring in my opinion. I don't think much points are going to be scored here. So whatever the over-under is, you probably should go under. I'm going to have Tennessee winning this game. Even though Jacksonville is at home, Tennessee is not looking too good. I'm still not sold on Gardner Minshew. And there's a whole, dilemma going on right now with Doug Marrone and the team and Jalen Ramsey as well. So I think that's going to play a part in it. I'm going to have Tennessee covering the spread on the road.
Yeah, like you said, the Titans last week, I thought they were a lock. I mean, I love that pick. They played great against the Browns, and we called that.
Fantastic.
We said that they were 5.5-point underdogs. We said they're going to beat the Browns, and that's exactly what they did. Then last week they lay an egg. Now they're going up against Gardner Minshew, a rookie quarterback, late-round pick. And it's going to be interesting to see if Jacksonville sticks with him, where they go out and try to acquire Eli Manning or a quarterback out there. Maybe if they don't think Minshew can get it done. Must-win game for Jacksonville. They're at home. Got to try to find a way to win this game, but I don't see it. Now with Minshew at quarterback, that's a very good defense in Tennessee. And I see him struggling. I see that. I'd be surprised if Jacksonville puts up more than 14 points in this game. Yeah. I would be surprised. And I think the Titans will put up enough to win and cover that 1.5-point spread. I got the Titans, I'll say, by 6. I'll go 20-14 Titans against the Jaguars.
Yep.
Next game we've got the Denver Broncos traveling to Green Bay. The Cheeseheads favored by 7.5. Tell me your thoughts on this one.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not sold on Green Bay's. Now they played some great defenses, especially their divisional rivals. A lot of familiarity there, and the Bears and the Vikings. I'm just not sold on Green Bay's offense yet. But however, Denver's defense stinks. It's bad. I don't like it. Well, they did well against Chicago, but it's Chicago. Their offense stinks too. But as far as the Denver goes, I don't like the matchup for Denver at all. They can't get anything going on their offense. Their defense is giving up a lot as far as yardage goes, and I think Green Bay is going to have a field day here at home. I have them covering the spread and pretty easily at that. This might be a blowout. I'm not going to completely say it's a blowout. Might be. I'm going to take Green Bay at home, 7.5 points.
Yeah, 7.5 is a good amount of points, but Green Bay's at home, and obviously they got blown out on. That was in Oakland, right? The first week, Broncos Oakland.
Yes.
Yeah, so they got blown out on the road against the Raiders. and then they come home. And we both said that's going to be a close game against the Bears because Bears, the offense is struggling. Denver's a tough place to play, Mile High Stadium, and I think that's why this spread is a little closer than I think it should be. I think the Packers should be a 9 or a 10-point favorite. They've looked great. They've beaten the Bears. They've beaten the Vikings, and I got them going to the Super Bowl. So I got them covering the spread. I got
really good, man.
Yeah, the defense has played great the first 2 weeks. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and I don't see that. I don't see Denver sticking with them. I think Green Bay puts up at least 24, and I'd be surprised if Denver puts up more than 14. So I've got Green Bay winning by at least 10 points in that game.
Yeah, should be an easy win.
Next game up. The Detroit Lions, coming off an impressive performance. They beat the Chargers. Going on the road to our hated rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm really curious to get your take on this one.
Yeah, as far as this matchup goes, usually when they face each other, and this has been in the past, I believe in a Thanksgiving game as well, Detroit kills Philadelphia. I mean, just destroys them.
Right.
But this is Philly at home now. Usually that kind of destruction happens when it's at in Detroit, but Philly at home, they're coming off of a loss that I'm pretty sure they're very upset about. Detroit has been looking good. They actually been
They should be 2-0. They should be 2-0.
Yes, yeah, they should be 2-0. I mean, they should have beat the Cardinals. They allowed them to come back, and they actually impressed me a lot against Los Angeles. I thought Los Angeles was going to come out with that win there, and they impressed me at home. But they're coming here to Philadelphia. I like Philadelphia here. I'm not going to lie, but I don't like Philadelphia with the points. I think Detroit's going to cover. I think it's going to be a lot closer. Like I said, in these past matchups, Detroit usually plays Philadelphia very well. Don't know what it is, but they do. So I'm going to take Detroit with the points, but I'm still going to have Philly winning the game.
What is this, our third game now? So this is going to be now the third straight game we agree. So if you guys are watching, pick against us. You'll win money. You'll be 3-0. But I think the Lions might win this outright because you look at that. You look at the Eagles. Goddard's hurt. Jeffrey's hurt. Deshaun Jackson's hurt.
They are beat up, man.
Yeah, they got a lot of injuries over there. I don't know if I would pick the Lions to win outright. I'm not telling you to bet a money line, but 6.5 to me. I don't care that it's in Philadelphia with all those injuries. Carson Wentz got a little banged up last game. The Lions got a strong run defense, a nice front seven. With those weapons out, I think they can make them one-dimensional, and Carson Wentz may struggle a little bit in this game. I think the Lions keep this close, and I think they have a shot to win it in the last few minutes of the game. I do think Stafford could move the ball against them. We saw Matt Ryan do it pretty effectively last game, late in the game. So yeah, I'm taking the Lions with the points. I'm definitely taking the Lions with the points. Next game up. This is an interesting game. Both these teams have looked great coming out. Baltimore Ravens going to Kansas City. Kansas City favored by 6.5 at home. So they're giving Baltimore a lot of respect here. Because Arrowhead Stadium, they've been blowing teams out 6.5. They're buying into the Baltimore a little bit those first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Kansas City is being disrespected so much on the spread. I've been taking Kansas City with my locks like this whole time, and I'm probably still going to do it, but Kansas City looks great. I mean, by halftime against the Raiders, it was over. I watched that game, and it was ridiculous. If Kansas City wanted to, they could have laid 50 on them. I'm not joking. They let their foot off the gas pedal. They were playing great defense. They really bullied the Oakland Raiders, and Baltimore played well as well against Arizona Cardinals. And I still don't know what to make of that game yet. Being that I don't know what Arizona is going to be yet. I still think they're bad, but they may not be as bad as we think. They held out against Detroit, tied the game against Detroit, and they played well against a good Baltimore defense. So I still don't know what to make of that. Was that the bad Baltimore Ravens? Was that good Arizona Cardinals play? I don't know. But I'm still gonna have Kansas City covering. I can't bet against Kansas City yet. They're blowing out teams. They're doing it convincingly, and usually the games are over at halftime. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna happen here because Baltimore has a better defense, but based on what Kyler Murray was able to do against the defense, still throw for over 300 yards, still able to put up some points. I think Kansas City is going to have a field day again. Unfortunately, I mean, it's just going to keep happening unless they face the Patriots. It's just going to keep happening. It's just going to keep blowing people out. I worry about Kansas City's defense, of course. Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson looking great. He's killing my expectation. I railed on Lamar Jackson on plenty of rants over the offseason, and he's very angry. So, I'll be surprised, not shocked, if Baltimore covers, but I'm still gonna have to take Kansas City, man, with the points.
Yeah. So you mentioned Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson MVP candidate right now. The way he's played the first 2 weeks.
He's making me look very stupid, Chris. Very stupid.
But I'm gonna tell you why he looks like an MVP candidate. Who's he played? He's played the Miami Dolphins, who you could throw 4 touchdowns against, and the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm not buying into.
Put me in there, Chris. Put me in there.
I'm not buying into the Lamar Jackson hype. I'm not. I think he can be solid. I don't think he's this all-world quarterback like he's displayed the first 2 weeks. Kansas City defense, though, is weak. He's going to be able to move the ball on that football team. But I don't see, as good as the Ravens' defense is, in Arrowhead, I don't see it. I don't see them slowing down this Kansas City offense, and I don't think Baltimore is going to be able to keep up with the Kansas City offense. So because of that, I think it's going to be right around that number. You know what? No, I'm gonna go with my initial.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
All right.
But I think Baltimore could get a backdoor cover. But I'll go with the Chiefs. I'll go with the Chiefs by 10 at home, somewhere to the tune of 31-21. I'll go with the Chiefs. All right. Next game up, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals, who you picked last week. You bought into the Kool-Aid.
Let's not talk about this.
You bought into the Kool-Aid. Going to Buffalo. Buffalo favored by 6 at home. What do you like?
I'm ashamed, man. First off, I want to say I'm sorry to all the supporters out there, all the people that watch us. That was not a good representation of my analytic skills, okay? I was taking a risk. I thought I could believe in Cincinnati. They let me down by a long shot. They got blown out, giving San Francisco a 40 points. And I didn't think they would.
That's why I picked San Francisco's a lock, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, they killed them. I
couldn't believe the spread. It was only 1.5.
That's the first and last time I ever believed in Cincinnati. I have Buffalo destroying Cincinnati. But listen, I'm gonna have Buffalo covering the points. They played well against the Giants, and listen, you say what you want about the Giants defense. I saw Buffalo execute a lot of things very well. I thought Josh Allen looked a lot better than what I was saying about him in the offseason. He looked a lot better. As far as being a dual threat, Devin Singletary looks like a fantastic weapon they have in that run game, and I think Buffalo is getting their offense together. They have a good defense. They just got to get that offense together. I think it's coming around very nicely. I think this should be an easy win for Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo with the points here.
Buffalo looked great last week. They didn't look good against the Jets. They had 4 turnovers, I think, in the first quarter. Then they rebounded. They were able to squeak out a win. Then they take on the Giants last week. The offense really impressed me. Now, the Giants' defense sucks. But the offense did impress me, right? Josh Allen made a couple of really nice throws on the run. They were able to move the ball effectively. John Brown was a great addition for them. Beasley's a nice slot wide receiver. And, I mean, I didn't buy into it. I know this Cincinnati team sucks. I cannot believe that they stayed within 1 point against the Seahawks week 1. They are the worst defense in football. This team is complete and utter trash. Andy Dalton sucks. There's no A.J. Green. This team is straight garbage. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be one of my locks. I am very confident that the Bills will cover this at home. They are gonna dominate that offense with that defense, and they're gonna be able to move the ball on that high school defense. So I got the Bills winning this by at least 10 points. I like the Bills at home a lot as they get to 3-0 to start the season.
I like it.
Next game up, we've got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Indianapolis Colts in Indy. Indy favored by 1.5.
I think Vegas is giving a lot of respect to Indianapolis, and deservingly so. I think with Jacoby Brissett there, I think they really found a way to kind of recover from that Andrew Luck retirement. Nobody saw that coming, so they're doing pretty well there. They got the team together to beat Tennessee. I think Atlanta is a lot better though. I think getting that win on the road, and remember, Indianapolis plays in a dome. Atlanta plays very well in domes.
They do.
They play very differently outside.
They do.
Indianapolis plays in a dome. I think Atlanta is going to feel just at home there. I think they'll play fine. I know Indianapolis defense is pretty good, but I'm going to take Atlanta here in the upset and also winning outright as well. I think Atlanta takes it away.
I'm going with the Colts. I'm buying into the Colts. I am. I'm buying into this team. First week,
Brissett.
Yeah, first week they go to L.A. They play the Chargers to the brink. They go to overtime on the road against the Chargers, right? Last week, they come out, they get a win that we didn't expect. And they're finding their identity, this team. They're finding their identity. They have that strong offensive line. They're moving the ball with Marlon Mack, and Brissett is getting the job done. They have an underrated defense, and they're at home. And I get the dome factor. And the Falcons looked good last week, albeit against a banged-up Philadelphia offense. I mean, everybody was hurt. But the Falcons have talent, no doubt about it. But I'm buying into this Colts team. I think they're a legit team, and I think they can still win that AFC South. They have a great offensive line. They have an identity. And Brissett, just don't turn the ball over. Be a game manager, and you're going to win some football games. I like the Colts at home here. They've impressed me. They could easily be 2-0 against two very good football teams. So they're coming back home. They got the Falcons. I'm taking the Colts. Not to mention the Falcons, a little bit of short rest, right? Was that Monday night, Falcons?
Yeah. No, Sunday night.
Sunday night. Okay, Sunday night. Either way, I like the Colts. I like the Colts. Next up, we've got the Raiders going to Minnesota. Minnesota fresh off a loss, favored by 8.5. What do you like in this one?
Minnesota's playing at home. Oakland stinks. I gotta have Minnesota covering the points, man. There's no reason for me to take Oakland. I'm sorry, Oakland fans, if you guys are watching, man. I know I have some Oakland subscribers. Listen, they don't have a chance here, man. I really don't see it. I know Minnesota isn't like a world beater type team, but they have a great defense. Their offense is nicely put together. Dalvin Cook is really carrying the load over there, really becoming what he was supposed to be, minus the injuries. I love Minnesota this year, and I think they'll have a field day on Oakland at home. I have them covering the points pretty easily.
Now, by the way, if you guys haven't done so, should have said it at the beginning, please go ahead and subscribe to Kidblue. The link is in the description below. I'll also be typing in the chat when we're doing the live show tonight. But as far as the Vikings and the Raiders go, Raiders fooled a lot of people. They had a nice Week 1 performance. Yeah. This team is trash. It's pig with a lipstick on. They are absolute garbage. Trash. And Minnesota's a good football team. They just ran into a great football team in Green Bay on the road last week. I still firmly believe in Minnesota. They're at home. They are going to blow this team out. 8.5 is not near enough points. They're going to win by at least 14. I like Minnesota to easily cover that spread. Bet it confidently, and I'm thinking about making one of my locks. I haven't decided yet. I mean, there's just too much talent there. It's just too much on both sides of the football. They're much better on defense. They're much better on offense, and they're at home. I can't see how anybody takes the Raiders there.
Yep, 2 + 2 = 2. 2 + 2 = 4, man. I always said 2.
Next game up. This is the smallest spread on the schedule. New York Jets versus the New England Patriots. Patriots favored by 23. 23! That's a lot of points.
Yeah. I took a long time discussing this with myself, just going over different kinds of scenarios. You talk to yourself? I'm like, hey, KB, what do you think about this? Man, I mean, the Jets, there's no way the Jets can just give up that many points against the New England Patriots. No, there's no way. But then there's the Patriots, and the Patriots that are allowing an average of 1.5 points this season on defense. It's ridiculous. 0 points last week, 3 points, in Week 1. But I have to. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna have New England for like the third time just completely blow a team out the water, and I think they're still gonna blow the Jets out the water, of course. I have the Jets just narrowly covering the spread. I think maybe I just hope
something like that.
Yeah, it's 21. I have a score prediction here, 31-10. That sounds reasonable to me. Maybe in garbage time they score an easy touchdown or something like that. I could very see it being 23 points in favor of New England, but I'm going to give the Jets some sort of hope here.
They need life.
Okay, you guys need it, and I'll believe in you for a second. I think Luke Falk can just move the ball.
You hear that, guys? Kidblue believes in you to lose by 21 points. You won't lose by more than 23. But
listen, you should be happy about it, okay? Happy about it, Jets fans. Okay, you'll have your quarterback back in you were going to lose this game anyway. Let's be fair, okay? You're going to lose this game anyway, all right? It's just you're going to get beat down here at home. You're going to get beat down here on the road against the Patriots. I'm going to have the Jets covering the spread, though. I'm not confident, but I'm going to believe in them for just a little bit.
Did I miss a notification before we started doing this? Because I didn't see a notification about this game. Was there a notification? Did Sam Darnold kiss Tom Brady? Because unless Tom Brady has mono, there is no way the Patriots are not covering this spread. The Jets got their third-string quarterback in there. Their defense, the only way this game even stays close to that spread, I'll give the Jets credit for one thing. Even again, the game against the Browns, the defense played good. The Jets have a pretty good defense. I'll give them credit. They have a pretty good defense, probably slightly above average. But against this offense, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, this team is on a mission. They are going to kill them. 23 is not enough. Double it. They might win by 46. They are going to kill this team. This team is trash without Sam Darnold. They are going to destroy them. This is an easy cover. Easy cover. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe he's got mono. Does Tom Brady have mono?
I mean, I don't know. Sam Darnold's been around, man. He's
okay, well, as long as Tom Brady's playing this game, I'm taking the Patriots to cover that spread.
Hey, Tom Brady likes kissing his son. I mean, you never know. I mean, right, invited Sam Darnold over. Who knows?
Next game up, we've got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Another really small spread here. Cowboys at home favored by 21.5. 21.5. What is this? What is this? Is this like Big 12 football? What is this?
The NFL is evolving at an alarming rate, and it's totally different from other years, man. I mean, you're seeing teams get blown out more. Like, this is supposed to be the NFL. I'm sorry, isn't this supposed to be the best of the best players in the NFL? How on earth do you just find and manage? One team finds the worst players possible and put them all on one team. That seems like what the Miami Dolphins are doing right now, especially trading away all their talent.
Right.
The Dallas. I was believing in the Jets, but I can't believe in Miami. I can't. They're doing nothing. This is the worst team I've ever seen. This team can go 0-17. That's how bad they're gonna lose in the bye week. They're gonna lose their bye week game, man. That's how bad they are. Okay, they're probably gonna lose somebody for the season in their bye week. All right. The Dallas is going to destroy him. Dallas is nothing to mess around with this year, especially their defense. I don't see Miami putting up much of anything, just like last week against New England. I'm thinking it being just a blowout. Maybe they get a field goal. Who knows? 38-3 type of game. But I'm going to take Dallas and it should be a lock. It should be a lock, but I'm going to take Dallas here.
Dallas, huge spread. 20.5 is a huge spread. But it's going to be at least 15, 16 points every time Miami plays anybody this year. Yep. They're that bad. It's a lot of points. But Dallas's offense with the new coordinator has looked great. Of course, they have a great defense. Miami, they traded away their entire team. They have nobody on that team.
All they have is Xavier Howard. That's it. And he's not even like a top 5 corner.
Yeah.
He's just there, yeah.
They got rid of Tunsil. They got rid of everybody. Kiko Alonso. They got rid of everybody. Cowboys at home, they're going to give the ball to Zeke. Zeke's going to tear them to shreds. Dak's going to tear them to shreds. They're going to cover the spread at halftime. They're going to be up by 21 points at halftime. Dallas is going to definitely cover that spread. I'm not going to make it a lock because it's just way too many points, but I'm confident in saying Dallas is going to cover that spread.
Yeah, for sure.
Next game up. We both took the Giants last week. Giants on the road. Daniel Jones' debut game. Going to Tampa Bay. Bucs favored by 6.5. Kidblue, I got to hear what you're doing here.
Let me just start off. I'm so disappointed. I could have went to this game, but I did. Daniel Jones was starting, and I should have let my boss know sooner. But I'm not able to go to the game. I'm in Florida. For those of you guys don't know, I'm an hour away from the stadium. Very upset. I'm not going to see Daniel Jones' first game starting, but it's all right. All right, this game here. I'm mixed feelings here, Chris. Mixed feelings. I mean, I believe in Daniel Jones. I think you can't get any worse with what that offense put up in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
You can only go up from here. Daniel Jones, with all respect to Eli, Daniel Jones just looked like the better quarterback, and I think he'll get things moving in the air. I think there'll be a little legitimate threat. Now, that wide receiver position is a huge question mark, but yet the secondary for the Bucs are just trash, and I'm not going to be fooled by the Tampa Bay's defense on that Thursday night game because it was a rivalry. They usually play the Panthers tough. And Cam Newton is like playing on one leg and one arm.
Right.
So I'm not going to be fooled by Tampa's defense. It still sucks. They're still beat up. I believe Devin White's hurt too, which is probably their only bright spot in JPP and all those guys like that. But the defense for the Giants really concerns me because I think Daniel Jones, him leading the offense, he could stay in a shootout. It all depends on the defense. How many points are they going to give up to the Bucs? Because Jameis Winston looks good under Bruce Arians, and it all depends on the defense to me. I think that's the X factor. The Giants have shown me nothing to have them winning this game. Straight up, I would have to pick Tampa, but I'm going to take the Giants with the points here. Now, I know they've been getting blown out the past 2 games, but I think in this game, with Daniel Jones there, a lot of motivation. This is a fresh start. I think they can do something against Tampa. I keep it somewhat close. I'll have them covering the spread. If they lose, it would be just under a touchdown. So I'm going to have the Giants covering the spread.
All right, so Tampa Bay, a lot of changes this year. They bring in a new head coach. They bring in a new defensive coordinator. Todd Bowles, really smart defensive mind. They switch from the 4-3 to the 3-4. They bring in a lot of players, especially in that linebacking core. Obviously the rookie that they drafted there, number 5 overall. They also brought in Griffin, who has 4 sacks. He's got, I think they only have 4 sacks as a team. He has all of them.
Shaquille, Shaquille Barrett there too.
Barrett, maybe that's what it was.
Shaquille Barrett.
They bring in Dwayne Buchanan as well, the former Cardinal. And one thing that I think is an interesting chess match in this game, you got Betcher, and you got his former coach that he coached under for defense.
Exactly.
And Aaron. So they both know each other's offense and defense. So I don't know who has the advantage there, but obviously they know each other very well. I mean, he coached there for, 3 years? So they know each other very well. He knows how he runs his offense, and he knows how he runs his defense. So that's a very interesting storyline to this game. As far as the Giants go, it's the same thing they always got to do, especially with the wide receivers that are going to be out. Now, Shepard may play, we don't know. Latimer may play, we don't know. But if they don't play, they are so limited at the wide receiver position. You got to give the ball to Barkley. You got to help out your rookie quarterback. What I'm most looking forward to is the run play option, right? The RPO. I think that's a wrinkle that's going to be added to this offense, and it may allow Ingram to get a seam over the because if the linebackers commit, you could see Ingram having a good game. Barkley, the magic number is always 20. Get him 20 carries, and you got a shot to win the football game. Bucs have a good offense, but I don't believe in Winston. He's turned it over 3 times in the air. And you mentioned Thursday night against the Panthers. I don't believe in this defense either. I think they have maybe they're better. Last year they were the worst in the league. A little
bit.
Yeah, they were a little bit better.
Yeah, they were terrible. Oh, God, yeah.
But last week against the Panthers, Thursday night, teams generally play sloppy, right? Because they only have 3 or 4 days to prepare for the last game. And I think that helped the Bucs defense last week. I really do. It was an impressive performance to go and beat Carolina on the road. But I don't believe in them. I don't know if the Giants are going to win, but I think they'll cover it. I think they'll cover the spread. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also, with Tampa Bay's defense, I mean, they should have lost that game Thursday night. They drove that, Cam Newton was able to drive that team down, but that 4th down play was one of the worst play calls on 4th down I've ever seen.
With the pitch to the left. Yeah,
it was terrible. It was terrible. And I think Tampa Bay really got away with that one because they drove down the field so quickly. I mean, you were starting to think, oh, Carolina's got this in the bag, but just bad play calling by the Panthers.
Speaking of Carolina, they're up next. They're on the road.
All right.
Going to Arizona. Arizona coming in at 0-1-1. Carolina 0-2 with losses to the Rams and the previous mentioned team, the Bucs. They're on the road in Arizona. Kyler Murray. What do you think?
Yeah, I said this from the offseason, and I got a lot of flack for this. I told everybody Cam Newton is done in Carolina. He can't. It's the same situation that Andrew Luck was going through all these years. Cam Newton is starting to go through it now. If he plays this game, there are talks that he might not even play this game. That it's going to be this other guy. Adam Schefter tweeted this
Will
guy.
Greer,
no, it wasn't Will Greer. Surprisingly, I thought it would be some Kyle Allen fellow.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who the hell he is. I don't know his name. Doesn't matter. He's not going to play well. If Cam Newton does play, he's going to get knocked out of this game. I know Arizona's defense is not great, but I'm talking if you blow on the guy, if you poke him, I think he's going to go down. Cam Newton is that beat up, man. His shoulder is torn up. He re-aggravated his leg injury that he suffered in the preseason, and he's not looking good right now. Arizona is looking for their first win. They were scrappy in week 1, very scrappy in week 2. They were able to keep with these good teams that I really have a high standard for. Detroit and Baltimore, they're pretty good. So all that being said, to keep the long story short, I'm going to have Arizona getting their first win here at home against the Carolina Panthers. I think they'll get their first win here, especially with Cam Newton. If Cam Newton's out, Carolina's defense is pretty good. They're not fantastic, so I'm going to have Arizona getting their first win here. Very surprising, but I'm going to have Arizona getting their first win here.
If Newton was healthy, I'm taking Carolina in a heartbeat. He's not healthy. They're traveling all the way over to Arizona. Now, the mistake the Panthers did last week, they only had 39 yards on the ground. You got one of the best running backs in football. McCaffrey needs to get he's got to get the football. And I know Newton can't run, and that's a big part of the offense. This offense is built around the ability to run that RPO with Cam Newton. So when he's not healthy, it changes the whole offense. Now, I think they'll be able to move on the Arizona Cardinals. Their defense is bad. So they'll be able to move. McCaffrey's going to get his yards. They'll be able to control the clock, and they'll keep it close. That being said, they got to travel all the way across the country. Newton's banged up. Kyler Murray's starting to bring some life into that team, right? I think they're starting to believe a little bit. I still think they're a bad football team, but I do agree with you. I think this week at home,
Awesome.
Carolina traveling across, they're going to get their first win. And I don't like the Cardinals, but I got them this week.
Yeah, man, I like the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals.
Next week, next game, Seahawks, the Saints, rather, on the road going to Seattle. Drew Brees, of course, is going to be out for this game, which is why the Seahawks are favored by 4. Does the 12th man get them to cover there at home?
I think absolutely. I think the Seahawks got it. I'm not a huge believer in Seattle. This may even be a close game for all I know. I don't have it being as such. I think this could be a 10 point differential. But I have Seattle covering it. I don't believe. See, with New Orleans offense, they have a lot of great pieces there. Michael Thomas, a decent offensive line, Alvin Kamara, a decent run game, and Drew Brees. That offense is like based around Drew Brees.
It's based around timing. It's all timing.
Yeah, a timing, and only he can make those certain throws. And Teddy Bridgewater, although I give him some credit, he's not terrible. He can ball. He's just not Drew Brees. And I think this offense, we've seen it against the Rams, they're going to have a lot of hard times trying to figure out how they're going to move on without Drew Brees. He's a big part of that offense, no doubt about it. And they really struggled against the Rams, Seattle's defense may not be as potent as the Rams defense, but I'm still going to have New Orleans not having too much of a shot here. Seattle may keep it close with their offense. They may not blow the team out because Seattle's offense is good, but I like the Saints defense as well. But I'm going to take Seattle here covering the spread. This may be even a 10-point differential game. So, yeah, I'm going to take Seattle.
I'm going to take the Saints. I'm going to take the Saints getting 4 points on the road. Seattle has impressed.
Outright?
I think they have a good chance to win, but definitely getting 4 points. I'm going to take the Saints.
Wow.
Seattle hasn't impressed me this year. They just haven't. They win by 1 point at home to the worst team in football outside of Miami in the Bengals week 1. Then week 2, what did they win by? A couple points against the Steelers?
By 2 points.
2 points without Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger goes down. I don't like this team. I don't like this. They're a fake 2-win team. I don't like the Seattle team. I still think the Saints have a good football team. They're 1-1. They don't want to drop to 1-2. I think they have a very good chance to win this game. I don't care that it's being played in Seattle. I still think they're just as good as Seattle, even without Drew Brees. They have great weapons on offense. They have a very strong defense. I think Teddy Bridgewater, although I heard that Taysom Hill could start. I heard it's not definite.
That would be such a bad idea.
Yeah, I heard it's not definite. But if Bridgewater plays, expect to see Hill, I think, a little more in trick plays, wildcat things of that nature. They're going to try to add extra wrinkles to that offense without Brees to try to create plays.
Sure. But, they tried that with the Rams.
Yeah, but I think the Saints do enough to definitely lose by 3 or less, and I give them a very good chance to win that game. I think the Saints, a lot of people are going to say they got no shot because of Brees. I think the Saints are a run-first football team. They've been that way now for 3 years. I think they do enough on the ground to help Bridgewater out and have an efficient day against Seattle, and they'll stay within 3 points.
Interesting.
All right. The Texans going to the Chargers. The Chargers favored by 3. At the beginning of the year, you would have said 2 of the top 3 or 4 teams in the AFC. What do you think of these 2 teams right now?
I honestly don't know what to think of these 2 teams. Los Angeles just loses against Detroit on the road, which, I mean, it's whatever. I don't even know what to make of Detroit right now. We'll see if that's a good or bad thing for the Chargers. But they're at home against Houston. Houston, I don't know what it is about Houston. They should have scored a lot more points against Jacksonville. I get Jacksonville had a good defense, but Jacksonville was missing a lot of guys on that defense, man. I think Yannick Ngakoue was out. A couple of guys were out of there, especially not having Nick Foles there as well. Houston should have ran away with that game, but to be honest, I'm not sure. But I'm going to take Los Angeles just because they're at home. I'm going to take Los Angeles with the points here. So yeah, I'll have them winning the game. Houston can easily win this game. I just don't believe in them right now. I don't believe they can get it done. I'm going to take Los Angeles.
Last week, I really thought the Lions had a really good chance to win that game. Now, we forgot to put that game up. We were silly. We only did. But I told that to one of my friends who's a Charger fan. I said, Cristiano actually, I said that I thought that the Lions were close to 50-50 in that game, even though they were getting 4 or 5 points. Chargers don't seem to be what they were last year. They just don't. And the Texans, I don't love them either.
It's hard. It's hard to find their identity. We don't know if they're good or bad or mediocre.
Yeah. And it's on the road. I don't care. I think the Texans are a better football team. I'm going to take the Texans.
Very fair.
I'm going to say Watson puts up enough points on the road and they win the game outright. I'll take the 3 points, but I think they win it outright.
That's a fair
Not
point.
super confident, but I'm going to take the Texans.
It's a toss-up. This game's a toss-up.
Next game we got up. The Steelers, without Big Ben, going to San Francisco. 49ers favored by 6.5. Let me preface this by saying I have taken the 49ers so far twice this year in my locks, and they've hit on both. Do I take them week 3? We'll find out, but go ahead.
You may have a good chance. I told you guys I'm not a huge Pittsburgh fan. I don't like what Pittsburgh is doing right now. I think they're all sorts of messed up. They need to rebuild from the ground up, starting with their offense. It's terrible. Their defense is terrible. Everything's terrible over there. Juju Smith is not having a great year.
And I thought he would. I really thought he was going to have a big year.
I thought he was ready to take that mantle and not have, but at the same time, he doesn't have a good supporting cast. Dante Moncrief has dropped like 4 passes in week 1, like 3 passes in week 2. Dante Moncrief, I had him on my fantasy team. He got the boot. He's gone. Dante Moncrief is gone. He can't catch anything. The rest of the supporting cast are James Washington, Ryan Switzer, not good. The offense is terrible. The play calling is terrible. The defense is always terrible. I don't believe in Pittsburgh whatsoever. I think San Francisco is going to come in there. Well, Pittsburgh is going to them. San Francisco is going to have a field day. May get a little close just because I like Mason Rudolph. I think if there's any quarterback you want to replace Ben Roethlisberger with, I think it would be Mason Rudolph. I think they spit an image. I think Mason Rudolph is going to be could be the next Ben Roethlisberger. I like him that much from Oklahoma State. So I'm going to give Pittsburgh a fair shot just with Mason Rudolph there, but I don't believe in them. I still think they may even get blown out. I'm going to take San Francisco with the points here, 6.5 points. Yeah.
I've said every week. Now this is my 3rd week, and I say every week that I don't love the 49ers this year. I don't. But
you better love them.
But every week, I think the spreads are so off. It was basically a pick'em game against the Bengals last week. I said, are you kidding me? They were a pick'em game the week before against the Bucs.
And they blow both of them out.
They both those teams suck. And they're getting disrespected. Now they're home for the first time, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Pittsburgh's coming there without Ben. Okay, the team has looked like crap when Ben was in there. Now you bring in Mason Rudolph, who I actually am not that huge of a fan of. I was so happy the Giants didn't draft him in that draft. They're at home. I'm taking the Niners. I think the Steelers are up in arms. Whenever Ben goes down, they usually don't play that well, right? I mean, we've seen it in the past. Remember when Vic came in that one year? He played 3 or 4 games. They were awful. They need Ben to win football games. Period. End of story. The defense has been. The Patriots. What are they scoring? 40 points almost.
Yeah, 33-3. That game was.
Yeah, whatever it was, they blew them out. The defense has been bad. Juju Smith's been underwhelming. Now they got a quarterback who's never thrown a pass in an NFL game.
James Conner is hurt.
And the Niners' defenses look great, albeit against bad teams. But
yeah,
give me Garoppolo. Give me the Niners. Give me this. I'll take. They're going to cover that by a mile. They're going to cover that by a mile. I'm taking the Niners at home. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't love them this year. But I keep loving them every week. They must have the easiest schedule in the sport. I don't know. But anyway, next game up, we've got the Rams on the road going to the dog pound, Cleveland. Cleveland coming off a win on Monday night, so a little bit short rest there. Rams with the revenge win over the Saints. Rams favored by 3 on the road. Tell me your thoughts.
All right. Well, first off, from the last pick we just did, I think Pittsburgh, hot take, I think Pittsburgh is going to have a top 10 pick this year. Not joking. I think Pittsburgh's that
Probably
bad.
will be. With that out.
It's going to be that bad. But Sunday Night Football, Rams at Cleveland. This is a weird matchup. I know people may want to see this. It's a weird matchup to put at Sunday night. They have no relevance to each other whatsoever, but it should be fun to watch. Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff go at it. But as far as these two teams goes, I have no reason to give up on the Rams. I love what they're doing right now. They scared me a little bit in week 1. Only 3-point game against Carolina, and we've seen what Carolina is right now. But I think they're back on track. Cleveland struggled. They struggled against the Jets, and then they pulled away early. I think that score is a little bit misrepresenting how that game went in the beginning of the game. It was very close against the Jets, and then they pulled away with it afterwards. But I'm going to take Los Angeles here with the points and just beating up on the Cleveland Browns on the road.
I've been saying it all year. I think the Browns are paper champions. I put no stock into that win over the Jets. The offense didn't look that good. The Jets defense played well. Jamal Adams played well. Jets defense got after him.
They needed one play with Odell Beckham, and that's how they pulled away, and that was it.
Yeah. Garrett was phenomenal.
Oh, he was great.
What do you have, 3 sacks, 4 sacks?
Something like that.
I picked him to win Defensive Player of the Year. I'm looking pretty good there. He's got 5 sacks already this year. So I'm looking pretty good there before the season started.
Monster.
But the Rams, Aaron Donald still doesn't have a sack this year, but great defensive line, great defense. Jared Goff. The Rams, I said it from the beginning of the year, everyone's sleeping on this team. Everybody thinks Super Bowl hangover. That's all I heard. Everybody's saying they're overrated.
Oh, my God.
I think the Rams were one of the most underrated teams coming into the year. I thought that the Browns were one of the most overrated. I don't care that it's in Cleveland. Cleveland got destroyed against the Titans. Then the score, it shows that they beat the Jets well, but they didn't play that good in that game. I know.
They
Sam Darnold out.
Yeah.
The third-string quarterback. Give me the Rams to cover, and cover pretty easily. I like the Rams on the road to win by at least 7 in Cleveland on Sunday night.
And let me just say, a lot of people are sleeping on Jared Goff as well. I like Jared Goff. People may think he sucks, and maybe he's a quarterback of the system. I like Jared Goff, so he may light it up.
Yeah, we'll see. And then finally, the last game of the week, the Chicago Bears on the road versus the 0-2 Washington Redskins. Bears favored by 4 in Washington.
This is a tough game, man. Not because I think Chicago's going to win this game. It matters about how well they're going to win the game, because I don't believe in Chicago's offense whatsoever. I think it sucks. Yeah. I think Mitch Trubisky is. I liked him going into the year. I'm sorry, Josh. I was a sports fury. Mitch Trubisky's not. He sucks. All right, he sucks this year. Their offense, they can't get anything going on offense. Their defense is still great. That's why I'm definitely going to have them winning this game. I don't think Washington's going to be able to overcome that Chicago defense. But is Chicago's offense going to do something stupid? A lot of mistakes to keep that game close is the question. I think they just narrowly cover the spread and win that game. I think it'll be some kind of a touchdown. I think they can win it by a touchdown, but not very confident about it. But I'm going to have Chicago here covering just because of the defense. I know it's on the road, but I think that defense is too good. I don't think Washington has any answer for that defense whatsoever. So I'm going to have Chicago here covering the points.
This is going to be a lock for me. I'll preview that right now. Bears are going to cover that spread. They're going to cover it easily. And I don't even like the Bears, but the Redskins have no offensive weapons. Their quarterback sucks. They're going up against the best defense in the league. Spells disaster. They're going to cause at least 3 turnovers in this game. The Bears are going to dominate them. They're not going to need an offense because the defense is going to set them up in great field position.
Exactly.
And the Bears are going to dominate this game. I don't think the Redskins keep it close. I think there's a horrible matchup for Washington. And the Bears need this game. They're 1-1. They haven't played good. They need some confidence, right? They narrowly beat the Broncos last week. They lost to the Packers. They need something to get it going, and they're going to find an opportunity to beat up on the Washington Redskins this week. I love the Bears in that game to cover the 4 points with Trubisky and that defense. So we'll start the locks. I'll go first. That's my first lock. Bears over the Redskins, favored by 4. Give me your next one.
All right, my first lock. Let's see what I want to put as my first lock. Okay, my first lock. I'm gonna have Minnesota at Oakland. I don't think it's fair whatsoever. I don't give.
No, Oakland's at Minnesota. Oakland's at Minnesota.
Oh, Oakland's at Minnesota. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's right. Yeah. Minnesota. Yeah, Oakland at Minnesota. Even so, not giving them a chance here. I got Minnesota in the lock
by 8.5.
Yep.
I'm gonna go for my second one. I'm taking the Bills. I like the Bills favored by 6 against the Bengals, who I think is an absolute travesty of a football team. So I'll go Bills there to cover.
All right, so the next game I'm going to lock. I'm going to lock Kansas City. I think not the past 2 weeks. I was going to lock them last week. Stupid, I should have. But I'm going to just give me some kind of win. But I'm going to lock Kansas City this week. I know it's Baltimore. I know they have a great defense, but Kansas City has shown me no reason of picking against them, especially with these small spreads under a touchdown. It's ridiculous. I'm going to take Kansas City in my second lock, minus 6.5.
It's a good one. That's a good one. My third lock, I'm gonna go third time's a charm. They've won for me the first 2 weeks of my locks. I'm taking the Niners home, favored by 6.5 against the Ben Roethlisberger-less Pittsburgh Steelers. So I go Bears, Niners, and the what was my third one again? It was the Bills. So Bills, Niners, and the Bears are my 3. Give me your third.
All right. I was gonna go Arizona. But yet, I still don't know if Cam Newton's going to play yet. But I'm really convinced that Cam Newton won't play. But just to be safe here, I need some wins on the locks, man. I need some wins on the locks. I'm going to take Green Bay here against Denver. Their defense stinks. Their offense stinks. They're going to Lambeau Field. Green Bay is looking great. So gotta give Green Bay the lock there, minus 7.5.
It's a great pick. Like that pick. That would have been my fourth. I said that last week too, but it's the truth. That would have been my fourth. But yeah, had a great time. Hopefully we improve this week. This will of course be premiered, so I'm looking forward to premiering. Hopefully you come in the chat. And I'll be
What's up, guys?
I'll be shouting out your channel, and I'll talk to you soon, buddy. I'll see you in a couple minutes. Thank you for coming on.
All right, man. See you. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.